Oh, yeah. And ours doesn't have any problem.
It's we have too many guests.
Go on for hours.
I know, right? Except the big truck.
I'm running low with Heather. God, I'm going like so fast. No.
Hi, I'm Sutton.
And I'm Ellen, and I love to visit the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum. I've been coming here ever since I was little, and I never get tired.
There's so much to see and do. We'll help you make the most of your visit and show you what's cool
Or at least what we like.
and give you a preview of what not to miss.
The Air and Space Museum is one of the most visited museums in the world.
Because it's filled with historic artifacts, rockets, spaceships, airplanes, which tell the story of aviation and space exploration.
We started our tour with the first successful airplane, the Wright brothers' 1903 flight.
Is this it? I mean, is this really it?
Yep, this airplane is a real thing. Orville Wright took the controls on the historic first flight on the Peachy Kitty House in North Carolina. It's kind of amazing to think that, like everything in the museum, it belongs to all of us.
So what else is there from the early days of aviation?
Come on, I'll show you. Here is the Spirit of St. Louis. In 1927, Charles Lindbergh was the first person to fly solo, non-stop from New York to Paris. It took him 33 hours and 30 minutes.
There's no windshield. How did he see?
He had to put an extra building in front of the cockpit, blocking his view, so he had to fly looking out the side window. He weighed a lot, so he had to get rid of all his extra weight. No radio, no letters, not even a parachute.
So crazy. But that's actually good advice for a Smithsonian visitor. Remember to leave everything behind you don't need, so it's easier and faster to come to the museum. Sir, you have the bag? Go ahead and through the line. Get the line. You've done for everybody.
Not long after Lindbergh's famous flight, Amelia Earhart became the first woman to fly by herself across the Pacific in this bright red box today. Amazing, huh?
Over there. You can get hurt.
Or hurt somebody else. No, there are millions of visitors to the museum every year. The Smithsonian wants them all to be safe and have a good visit.
But if you need help or have a problem, the security guards are there for when you need. They're found throughout the museum.
No, the museum gets crowded at certain times. It really helps the visitors use their common sense so everyone can enjoy their visit.
Remember, no food or drink is allowed in the museum.
Or gum. Here we are at the XUT. It's a rocket-powered airplane and still holds the record for the fastest airplane.
How did it fly with such short, stubby wings?
Short, stubby wings so they give less drag and supersonic speed.
How does that work?
You can find out in the Air Fun Gallery called How Things Fly.
All right, let's go.
You can't watch the
changing my music.
Oh, I can.
Oh, yeah.
So big. Oh my gosh. There's so many control buttons. I didn't know to get much of
I want those smaller windows on.
We still have a few more things to see, like all the space stuff.
Can we check out the inside of any spaceships?
Yeah.
No, you're not. Who asked you?
Wow. This thing is so big. This is the back of the sky. America's first experimental space station.
How do astronauts use the bathroom? I mean, if there's no gravity.
With the conversation. But
Wasn't even that big.
the museum has a space for the
Yeah,
but
Joe.
Really?
This is
not when it's back. This is the level command module. It's the whole way from first astronauts to watch out in July 1969.
It looks proud.
It was. Well, who would have minded a few days of camp quarters if it meant going to the moon?
So this is the lunar lander. It must have been amazing climbing down that ladder.
And it should be the first person to walk on the moon. They even collected moon rocks.
Moon rocks? I never thought I'd be able to touch a piece of the moon.
Yeah. And one that's really 4 billion years old. There's so much to see and do here.
Airplanes, spacecraft, telescopes, moon rocks. So much cool stuff.
And the support historians of the Aquaman and women made it all possible.
Enjoy your visit.
Hi, I'm Ben Stiller. Welcome to the Smithsonian, the world's largest museum and research center. Did you know that the Smithsonian was founded by a British scientist named James Smithson, who never set foot in America? And that the Smithsonian now houses over 136 million objects? And that no matter how nice you are to the museum guard, they will not let you touch the exhibits, even if you're super famous? Let's just say I found that out
I went
the
this
hard
way
way.
yesterday.
Ouch.
Yep.
But seriously, the Smithsonian is an amazing place. It doesn't display just anything. Every single item is important, having special significance in art, science, history, and culture. It's a hall of fame of everything that matters. For example, this portrait of this gentleman is extremely important. That's why it's here. Why is it important? Because this man was important. What his name was and what he did is a mystery that I will solve at some point before this introductory film is over. But perhaps my favorite historical thing here is this.
Did it?
Starship
You
Enterprise.
just whispered in my ear. They
Can't
couldn't
touch
hear
that.
it.
Okay.
They're not kidding around. Now,
Yeah, you whispered in
a lot
my
of
ear.
people think the castle, the building you're
They
in
didn't
now,
hear it.
is the Smithsonian, but it's way bigger than that. It incorporates 19 museums, each of them alive with stories. Let's take a look at some of them. Surrounding the castle are 3 art museums. The Freer and Sackler galleries specialize in American and Asian art. Here you can see that Whistler painted much more than his mother. A London businessman once commissioned him to design an entire room. Whistler went to town on it, created the famous Peacock Room. Only one problem. The businessman hated it. So the Smithsonian got another masterpiece. The National Museum of African Art tells the story of the cradle of humanity through masks and other visual arts. At the Hirshhorn Museum and Sculpture Garden, you can tap into the imaginations of modern and contemporary artists. One sculpture, called Antipodes, has a secret code that not even the CIA has cracked. Next door to the Hirshhorn is the entire history of aviation in one building. Every year, 7 million visitors walk through the doors of the National Air and Space Museum. That's more people than the population of Virginia or New Jersey.
The world's first airplane, the Wright Flyer, and the Spirit of St. Louis, the Bell X-1, the first airplane to fly faster than sound, and the first spacecraft to take an American into orbit.
Almost everything here is from the 20th century, a short period of astonishing innovation. Big as it is, the Air and Space Museum eventually ran out of space. Enter the Stephen F. Udvar-Hazy Center, about 30 miles from downtown D.C. near Washington Dulles Airport. Its main hangar is nearly as long as 3 football fields, big enough to contain 80 aircraft and 35 spacecraft, including the Space Shuttle Enterprise. And no, this is not Captain Kirk's first ride.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
The newest addition to the Smithsonian is the National Museum of the American Indian. Its design was inspired by natural rock formations in the American West. The collection here is a window on the world before and after Columbus. It also has one of the best cafeterias in Washington, D.C. It offers dishes from native peoples across the continent. Across the street from Union Station is the National Postal Museum, which traces American history through its mail. It also has some of the rarest stamps on the planet. Just up the road are 2 museums in one building: the National Portrait Gallery and the Smithsonian American Art Museum. Here you can hang out in one of Washington's most beautiful courtyards, then see up close how conservators restore and preserve priceless works of art. The Hall of Presidents is home to one of the Smithsonian's greatest treasures, the Lansdowne portrait of George Washington. All the presidents who followed have tried to live up to his legacy.
You really can see the weariness and the intensity of such a bright man.
I like his little crazy hairdo up like this.
Which is very powerful image. It really captures the essence of his presidency. Nowhere else can you look our leaders in the eye and come away with a better sense of who they were and what they accomplished. Most of us think of the Smithsonian as a place to store and display America's treasures. But it's much more than that. Conservation and research are at the core of its mission. The National Museum of Natural History is the largest research museum in the world. Walk Walking in here, it's easy to get swallowed up by the oldest and biggest and most amazing things in the universe. Who knew that an elephant's trunk has 50,000 muscles? What goes on behind the scenes is just as amazing. Making dead animals this lifelike requires a mix of science and art.
If I want to give this bird some attitude, I can flare these feathers up, making him a little more aggressive. And I can change the attitude of the bird just by playing around with things like this.
There are experts here on everything from giant squids to deadly spiders to blood-sucking leeches. On any given day, curators here are making new discoveries about the wonders of nature.
We thought we would do some work to explain how a hippo can wiggle its ears. And they can really wiggle them a lot.
The research isn't confined to the museum on the Mall. Scientists at the National Zoo are finding the secrets of breeding endangered species. And at international centers like the Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute in Panama, experts are uncovering the impact of global warming and other forces that have changed our planet over millennia. Science, art, history, culture, it's all here. But the Smithsonian also has a special mission to tell the story of America. The National Museum of American History holds over 3 million artifacts. Muhammad Ali's